Okay, so this is another very good game.
Yeah.
So e4, e6, the French. F4. Before Steinitz, there was a belief that the only way to find intact. Okay. D takes D5. Now, here it is. With the move, white begins to end D4. Okay. Well, these days, no one takes on C5.
Right.
Okay. The main line goes like knight F3, bishop E3, queen D2, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, the just like, okay, some games, but knight F3, 40,000 games. Knight F3, bishop E3, and knight F3, they will transpose. Knight F3 is better. Anyways, but we're talking about 1885, 19th century. Okay, people didn't know that much theory, of course, and they didn't know that much about strategies. Okay, and that's why it's interesting to look at these games. You know, played by Steinitz and
Yes.
then Lasker. You know, when Steinitz was probably the first player for, well, he was the first world champion, but the first player who started paying like real attention to strategy, you know, to center, positional play. Murphy was also very good at
Yeah.
that. You know, Murphy was also good. Before Murphy, it was always sacrifice. You know, always. You know that I think it was 18th century, and
Yeah.
if your opponent sacrificed and you didn't accept it,
It
he
was
could.
cowardice.
Yeah, no, he could actually challenge. How is it called? The duel when they shoot each other. You're like, oh, you didn't accept my challenge. Okay, we have to shoot each other now. You know, it was. I mean, when your opponent sacrificed something, you just had to take it.
That's it.
Okay, so that was a story, and that's why, of course, when you just play for checkmate and sacrifice and attack and mate, you don't really pay attention to strategy all that much. Center and squares, who cares, right?
Yes.
Sacrifice, checkmate. Otherwise, shooting. Okay, so yeah, and he was the first who really started paying attention and really developed some, um, I would say, like, uh, some strategies, and he has many good things. Then Nimzo is tried after him. You know, he wrote a book, but okay, Nimzo has other problems. Anyways, 65, knight of three. That's a waste of time. Okay, because a6 people play to stop knight b5, knight d6.
Hmm.
But now that's not the third because black has dark square bishop and he will just take it.
Yeah.
D6 will fall. So that's why a6 is just a waste of time in this position. You should
Right.
play to the castle, play knight c6, play f6 at some point,
Yeah.
like they always do. So bishop d3, knight c6, queen e2,
So here I would be thinking, yeah, knight b4.
knight
Exactly.
b4. Okay, bishop d2.
So he's not worried about knight takes.
He's not worried about that, but we'll see why. Okay, knight d1 was played. Knight. First things first.
All right.
King takes or pawn takes?
Right. Let's see. My initial instinct is to play queen takes, but then you've got your c pawn on an open file. Is that a problem? But yeah, this I don't know. I would say queen takes, but I don't exactly know why. If c takes d3,
yeah,
then this pawn is kind of, what's it doing? You don't really want to play d4 because your bad bishop, you'd have a blocked in bishop. So you'd want to leave it on d3 and then.
this is a typical position, typical way to recapture the knight. That is like 9 times out of 10.
9 times out of 10, I'd say, really? 9 times out of 10, you take with the pawn?
Yep.
It's
Because
always.
when you take with the queen, of course you get d4 square. You have the square anyways, but
Yeah.
when you take with the queen, he will go for b4, a5, bishop a6 idea. Even when you put your pawn on c3, he will attack it with b4. It's going to be minority attack.
Right.
Okay, it's going to be minority attack. You will get two open files.
Yeah.
You get yourself a d4 square, but he gets a diagonal. Bishop goes to a6. He gets two open files, b and c. Okay, that's what happens in many positions in French.
Okay.
Imagine that when the knight, even let's say the position with knight d4 against light square bishop, looks like winning, right? Not always, because when the pawn is on c3 and they go a5 b4, they get so much initiative, you know, going on B and C files, that knight on d4, of course, is good. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's not enough to win the game.
I see.
Okay,
Yeah.
because once again, black gets a lot of initiative. That's why in the Sicilian also, when they go when they play when white gets bishop d3 structure, knight c3, knight b3, and black goes knight b4 and takes on d3. It's always pawn takes,
Right.
even in that position.
Right.
Okay, now
You're saying, what's
he played queen b6, which is okay. Well, I mean, it's not okay. Queen b6 is a mistake here. Okay. Okay, what do you think black should have played here?
What should he play here? Maybe d4.
That's an interesting option, by the way. That I don't think Kasparov considers it, but d4, a pawn sacrifice, but then you get your bishop to b7 and then eventually to d5.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting option.
But there's probably something else. Let me see. I mean, castles is an option, but what else have we got? What else have we got here?
What's White's plan?
Well, white wants the castle ideally, but
Castle, you can castle anytime. The center is closed, it's not dangerous. But what do you think?
well, it depends on what black does. If black castles, then I would be going for a kingside attack.
It won't be easy.
If
Without light square bishop, it won't be easy.
oh, then then I don't know.
If you think, this it's a very obvious move. Okay, if you think, but not like that. Just don't try to guess the move. Look at your position. Let's say you're black here.
Yeah.
What is your biggest problem?
My white squared bishop.
That's right, the bishop or c8. Plus, you have so many pawns on light squares.
Yes.
Okay, d4 helps with that, but it's a pawn sacrifice. Let's say you're not sure about that. Okay, you're not okay. Actually, I sacrifice because he goes knight f4, knight f2, knight e4. I mean, he gets e4 square also. So maybe okay. Let's say you're not 100% like sure about that. You're not.
Would actually, if I were white here, wouldn't I want to play? If it were white's move, would b4 be a sensible idea?
That's right. That's a positional threat. That's a huge positional threat.
Locking all the white pawns.
That's right. That's right. Okay, because dark squares are weak.
Right. Even though, because then I would suddenly think, oh yeah, but then my bishop would be a bad bishop.
So what should black do?
So black, that's what I said before. That's why I said d4.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so what about b4?
That's right. b4 here. Then followed by a5 and then bishop a6.
Right.
And suddenly bishop becomes very active.
Mm.
I mean, not like super active and like winning the game, but then eventually maybe you can move the bishop and move your knight to c5, start attacking d3 pawn. I mean, you never know. At least you get some space,
Yeah.
something, some idea, some target, something to do. Okay.
Yeah.
But he played queen b6, which is a very bad move, and then oh yeah, he said
Uh,
before
so
was a must in this position, stopping white's plan, conquering space on the queen side, and from the blah 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 bishop after h6 f bishop. Yeah, that's right. That's what I told you.
so b4 can be played here by white.
So white played before straight away, of course. a3 here it was his last chance to play d4. It's not the same with the bishop on e7, of course, because had he played that before, he could keep the bishop on a7 g1 diagonal.
Yes.
After he would definitely lose this pawn, but he would have two bishops on long diagonals, right?
Yes. Yes.
a7 g1 and a8 h1 diagonal, two diagonals, two bishops, extremely strong, and that would probably give him full compensation.
Yeah.
Would give black full compensation. But here with bishop on e7, if you lose the d4 pawn, okay, you will have a bishop. You will have a good bishop on b7. Still probably worth it. Still because that bishop is going to be so bad that just one pawn, giving up one pawn, sacrificing one pawn, should be totally worth it.
So why did Steinitz play a3 when he could have played?
He wants to play bishop e3.
Yeah, but oh, I see. You can't play that yet. Okay, yeah, because he had to protect the pawn.
Yeah, so that's why here I would definitely consider playing d4. Queen e4, bishop e7, queen takes d4. I could take on g2. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely play d4 here.
Right.
Instead of sitting and waiting for my opponent to uh,
Kill you.
maybe not necessarily checkmate me, but positionally just kill me.
Yes.
Okay, and me like having a bishop on the c8 doing nothing, there's no space, nothing at all. Terrible pieces. Instead of doing that, I would suppress opponent in order to activate.
Yeah.
I definitely do that. Yeah, because d5 square, you see this square that white gets. Oh, he has this move, by the way. d4, interesting move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a move, no idea. I didn't even know that he had this. Okay, anyways.
Doesn't say much about it.
Yeah, so, yeah, d4, why interesting, right? Because it leaves a pawn. No, d square, okay, let's imagine that this pawn is gone,
Yeah.
okay? Because you will lose it, it's gone, okay?
Yeah.
You get the square, d5, where you can put your bishop,
Yes.
or move your queen and move your knight to b6 and d5.
Yeah. Suddenly it opens up your.
Yeah, you'll have, at
Position.
least you will have something to do,
Yeah.
something. At least one or two active pieces, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Because the difference between this bishop here and the bishop here is more than 1 point.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why that pawn, that 1 point loss, which you're gonna do, we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Once again, it's totally worth it, and you have to do it 100 times out of 100.
Yeah. That's a
Has
good
to be
point.
done.
That bishop
But
is not worth anything there.
he played this move. It's such a terrible move. Okay, and
Ah.
after f5, now the game is over because now even d4 cannot be played. Because once knight gets to d4 and bishop e3, e6 will start hanging.
Yes.
Okay, now d4 makes no sense anymore. So he played here, here. Now you see if he goes d4, he's the last chance to play d4, right? But if he goes d4, variation, knight takes, and then discoveries are coming, and if queen moves, knight e6 is hanging.
Yeah.
So you see, so no more d4. He has to play here, and then knight d4, and that's it.
What's he gonna do? Knight f8.
Yeah. He played knight f8, castles. This is another move that I
Nothing.
didn't really get. He probably wanted to play g4 or stop g4, but I don't think Steinitz was even planning to play g4. When you have the c file open and so many outposts here, and so much activity, why would you go g4? I don't know. Maybe eventually. Okay, knight c3 was played, king f7. What should white do now? How should white improve his position even more?
What do we do now? Interesting. It feels like there are some.
What you are going to say first is not what Steinitz did.
What I would say first was knight takes f5.
Exactly. No.
So not that. Right, let's get that one out of my head. Let's see. What have we got? What have we got? Hmm. Maybe knight b3 with the idea of bishop c5 could be an option.
You're still giving him a chance to play d4.
Give it. Okay.
One more try, if let's see if he finally understands that he has to sacrifice a pawn.
Okay, point taken.
The right idea, but wrong execution.
Yes. So what do we got? Hmm. Maybe it's knight b1 followed by knight d2 to b3 to c5.
Not bad, not bad.
The better option?
No, that's what he did.
Okay.
That's what he did, but it takes 4 moves.
Yes. Is there something better?
For a knight to get, to get to, well, he actually jumped to a5. Okay, he didn't go to c5.
Right.
But anyways, this is a5 is also a very nice outpost.
Yes.
So, but how many people do you think would find that plan?
True.
Very. Okay.
Well, you find a plan when you think everything's locked, and I just want to squeeze. So that I think Karpov would find it, wouldn't he? Karpov was.
Well, Karpov, yeah. Thank you very much.
But yeah, it's kind of logical if you disregard kind of going wild with sacrifices or busting open with pawns or whatever. I think it's kind of logical.
Yeah, it is.
Although I might want to double up rooks first. I might want to go rook c2, then rook c1.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, fine.
So that's why, you see, that's why in a close position. Remember, I think I told you that even if you was like 3 or 4 moves, you're good.
Okay.
3 or 4 moves, or even like, but not necessarily 5 or 6. Okay, not necessarily 5 or 6, but 3 moves, 4 moves is not a waste of time. People think it's a waste of time. They're like, oh, okay, we can't do that. It's too many moves, but the position is closed.
Yeah, not in this position. You can.
Yeah, you're not gonna do it in open position. Just keep moving pieces back and forth. Of course not. Of course not. You're not doing it. But here, you're good. You're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
You're totally fine. And yeah, that's what Steinitz did, and you'll see that it works. Black can't really do much. And then knight a5. So 4 moves.
Yeah.
Takes on c8. Takes rook c1.
So do we care about swapping off all the rooks? We don't mind that.
No. We don't. Look, he wouldn't trade rooks here if he didn't have like a really very good reason for that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that reason, of course, is to get an open file and get his queen to c7. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually, when you have space advantage, I mean, we say that we don't trade. Remember?
Yes.
We say we don't trade, but usually, even with space advantage, okay, even with space advantage, sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, actually,
Yeah.
okay, you need to trade one piece.
Yeah.
One, because your opponent has one good piece. Even if you are up, even if you are like, even if you have so much space and such huge space advantage, you know, still you can trade. That's fine. You know, just trade the pawn. I mean, not the pawn. Trade one piece, but don't trade all of his pieces.
You're
Like
right.
in this case, we don't need to trade both rooks.
Well, that's the thing. After rook takes and then rook c1, he's going to put his other rook there, isn't he? Oh, then you play d2 first.
You play queen c2. That's the point.
Right.
You see, that's the point. So he took here, then played rook c1, then played queen c2, and there's no rook c8.
That's it. Yeah. Got it.
Okay, there was no rook c8, and yeah, basically that was it. Okay.
Yeah. Now
He played here. Played bishop d8, and now look, very interesting. Okay.
hey, can we play? Let me have a look. Let's see. I'd be tempted to play queen a8. Sorry, c8.
Queen c8. Now what if you take on a5? Oh, you take on d7. Okay. So it means that you have the queen c8.
Or okay, what else have we got? We've got knight a c6 here. Not sure if that's any good. Knight a c6, bishop takes, queen takes. Not so crazy about that. Knight f8. Then what?
No, if you take on with the queen takes and knight f8, you take on a6 and then you take on b5.
Yeah. What about knight? What else have we got here? God, it's tricky.
I mean, you're right. Knight c6 was played.
Okay.
Okay, knight c6 was played because of one reason. You know that black cannot take on what's it called on c6 with on c6 because of queen takes c6.
Right. Attacking everything.
Yep, they can do it.
Yeah.
You know because they lose. I mean, he can do it, but he will lose 2 pawns.
Yeah.
Does he want to do it? I don't know. Probably not.
Right.
Okay, and he takes on d8. You see, that's the bishop he wanted to trade, not the a8 one.
Yes.
Okay, that's the one he wanted to trade. And when takes, now queen c7.
Yeah.
Okay, queen c7. Yeah, he didn't take. And then final.
Oh.
Okay, the last piece that is doing nothing. Bishop on e3.
Wow.
Okay,
Great.
he wants to go to h4, and that's it.
That's a fantastic move.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. You see, he played queen b6 here, knight f3, takes, played here, knight g5. Now e6 is also hanging, and then he played here. I think he resigned. Yeah, at this point he resigned. He's in Zugzwang.
Wow. Wow. Yes, knight f8, then you've got rook e7.
Knight f8, rook e7, the king can't move. Rook b8 and rook takes d7 is the least you can do. Bishop can't move. So his only move here is h4. You go h3, and that's it.
God, fantastic.
Okay. So you see, that's why instead of playing this position, I mean, he could have played d4 as well here. Knight will take on e6, will take on d4. You know.
Wow, amazing. So it was all
So instead of playing this position, was it better for black to sack a pawn?
Yeah.
You
So
see?
this is all Steinitz creating all this strategic thinking.
Yep. So like I said, he was one of the first players. You know, he was one of. That's why he became world champion actually, because he wasn't trying to checkmate his opponent every game. You know,
He was just ahead of everybody else.
no, he wouldn't mind, of course.